Years after the COVID pandemic, a new study claims pandemic learning loss and chronic absenteeism threaten our economy and young people's futures. Corey DeAngelis is a senior fellow at the American Federation for Children and joins me now. Have children made up this educational loss yet, Corey?
No, in fact, the scores have only plummeted. There's been decades of learning loss, 7-point drop in math scores among students, with now only a quarter of students in 8th grade nationwide being proficient in math. This is a total failure. Children haven't made it up, and the parents are fed up. They're pushing back. They're unhappy with what's happened in the school system. The unions held their children's education hostage, and now families, they tried to push back at school board meetings. They had their mics cut off. They were labeled as domestic terrorists. And now families are pushing for school choice like we've never seen before. It's a parent revolution. And now we have 12 states in the past 3 years alone going all in on school choice. So it's actually a blessing in disguise that the unions overplayed their hand and awakened a sleeping giant.
There's a tech entrepreneur, Alex Galvani, and he says artificial intelligence can be used to improve education in our schools. Roll tape.
We're now, and have been at Age of Learning over the last 5 years, been applying various different AI systems and AI approaches, including large language models, to really benefit education in the country, to really help children with a very personalized and supportive experience.
Corey, what do you make of AI being used to maybe get the kids back on track?
Yeah, that could be helpful. Look, families and kids are going to be using this kind of technology in the future on the job. So if schools can incorporate it sooner than later, that could help. We don't want to be over-reliant on AI. We want kids to be able to learn how to read, to do math themselves. So it's all the devil's in the details, and it's all about implementation. So we should allow families to choose schools that are implementing these policies in the right way.
There's another intense debate going on around the country about whether youngsters should have a smartphone in the classroom. There's a growing movement that says, no, you don't want them in the classroom. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I'd say no phones in the classroom, because the kids should be focused on education as opposed to all these other things that can be going on the smartphone. And look, it's hard enough for kids to focus on the teacher in class right now. The phones make it much more difficult. And there's a body of evidence to suggest that more smartphone use in the classroom is associated with lower mental health among students as well. So I'd say let the schools decide for themselves and let parents choose. But personally, I would say it's probably a bad idea to have too much cell phone usage in the classroom.
So let's sum it up. No teachers union and lots of school choice, and that would make Corey DeAngelis very happy, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, more families having opportunities, this is going to lead to a rising tide that lifts all boats. The public schools do get better, and competition works in every other industry. It obviously works in K-12 education too.
Yes, it sure does. Corey DeAngelis, great to have you on the show. Come back soon. We'll see you again later. Thanks very much, Corey.